And for sports today, we'll be telling you about, well, a gentleman who stood for what he believed in, and we are seeing some results. I'm talking about Sule Muntari, who walked off a pitch because some fans were making racist chants against him or at him. So now we know that FIFA has set up some regulations. Abigail Susu is here to give us the details. So, Abigail, good news. I'm excited and I'm happy that Muntari stood for what he believed, and we're seeing results at the highest level of football, which is FIFA. What are they saying?
Okay, according to FIFA, starting from the Confederations Cup in Russia just this June 18th, what happens is that the referee now has the power to at least halt a game, to caution fans who chant those racial abuses on African players. And if it continues, he can just hold the game for some minutes. If that doesn't also stop, then he can totally call off the game. And also they'll deploy some individuals in the stands to make sure people don't do that. Initially, they were using a system called FAIR, that is Fight Against Racism in Europe, but now they think that they should go a step further and make it known, because at the tail end of it, Muntari was saying that Europe and then UEFA and FIFA generally were not concerned because it wasn't their own, and I thought that it hit them so hard they had to do something about it. And maybe we've always been criticizing Muntari for the wrong reasons, but now I think that he's been able to push something good that will benefit Africa as a whole. So that's just going to be, but yes, it has to start in Russia because we know those people when it comes to racism. So clearly that's what FIFA has in line for us. Let's see if it can work. Maybe it might mar the beauty of the game at a point because you have to hold the game to caution someone off the pitch and all that, but I think it's for the greater good.
Yeah, and I'm sure once this regulation is out, the fans may be picking some good cue from it to desist from racist issues. But let's talk about another trending story, Odate Lamte.
It's a sad one for me to talk about as a woman. You get to that you are married to a man for over 20 years and 3 kids he's been taking care of all his life. Just one day wakes up and he's told those are not his kids. You realize that in interviews that the case had dragged and it had gone to court. The woman was fighting for 50% of his entitlement so they can go their separate ways, and he thought that was not fair. He took it to court, and finally the judgment came yesterday afternoon. It was sad, but he thought that
and the judgment is that
she gets nothing.
She gets nothing.
And then his splash apartment in East Legon, where she resides now, the 7-bedroom apartment, she's supposed to vacate that in the next 30 days.
Interesting.
But he's been generous enough to give her a home in Domi, so let's just see how that
Well, I can imagine that you have 3 children with one man. You tell him they are not his, and you want 50% of his property as well. Well, the court says no to Odate Lamte's former wife. Thank you very much for the sports updates. That's all time will allow us. Abigail Susu brought us some sports updates here. That'll be it for this edition of Joy News Desk. I'll be back at 12 with more news. Up next is Joy News Interactive. See you at 12.